Hey guys, I'm Nasty McRib, and I just got off of work, and I really want to film this video for you guys. The other one got destroyed somehow, so I have to start over. It's probably the longest vlog I'm ever gonna do, so I'm gonna go ahead and get changed out of my work clothes, and I'll be back with you guys in just a second, okay? Alright guys, now let's... Not again. Hold on. How do women do this? Okay, now what I was trying to say... Hold on. Alright guys, now that we're back, what I'm going to call this segment right now is the truth about being a dad. And it's not even, it doesn't have to be your kid specifically. There are stepdads out there and just even baby daddies or baby mamas. What this is going to be pretty much is just personal experience with maybe some knowledge that I've learned over the course of the last 7 months, even more time with the extra 9 months during the pregnancy. Reactions on when you find out your significant other is pregnant. And that may not seem like that big of a deal, but it's a big deal to your wife, baby mama, spouse, significant other. And the reason being is there's a lot of emotions going through their heads. So your reaction to that really helps them feel like you're surprised. My reaction wasn't the greatest. My wife literally came up to me and showed me the pregnancy test. We had been trying for a while, so I thought it was a joke. I literally kind of was just like, are you joking? Or are you serious? And she didn't take it the right way, and she just kind of stormed off. After that, I knew it was a joke, or it wasn't a joke. So I was like, holy crap, I'm having a kid. So I went and talked to her, blah, 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 you know. So I went and talked to her and got everything all situated, etc., etc. Share with me your reactions concerning when you found out you were pregnant. If it was similar, or you were like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Oh my God, my wife is pregnant. There are 2 or 3 different kinds of people when it comes to finding out that someone's pregnant. You got the cool, calm, collect people who are like, oh, okay, yeah, we're pregnant. Like, kind of like I was. I thought it was a joke. And then you got the, oh my God, she's pregnant. We're having a baby. This is going to be awesome. Those kind of people. And then you got the like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Then you got those kind of people. And that's all cool. Everyone always reacts different when it comes to having a baby. And, oh, you're going to show my finger now? Let me get your toy back here. You want your toy? This right here is a big part about being a dad, honestly. And get used to, like, picking stuff up off the floor because they drop things like crazy. And it's just, I don't know if it's on purpose, you know. He says it's on purpose. Don't chew on the desk. Teething is fun. So another thing I want to talk about is like the pregnancy. Try and do your best to be completely supportive to the significant other who is having the baby. There's a lot of emotions going through that person's head right now. Again, with the that you just found out you're pregnant. There's a lot of emotions and thoughts and things like that, and you just need to be supportive. I know it can be hard sometimes, but just bear with them. And ladies, bear with us because we have no idea what we're doing either. And there's a lot of things that we do that might seem bad or mean or rude, but we don't mean it. I guess it really depends on the person, though, because there are just some douches out there. And it can be really stressful on you and us when things don't work out the exact same way that you thought they were going to. You thought this dude was going to be an awesome, great dude, and all of a sudden you find out you were pregnant and he dips out. There's nothing you can do. Honestly, just do the whole single parent thing. You're not getting it back. Alright, you talked me into it. So there's lots of different things, and guys that react differently, and just bear with us on that because we don't try to be a-holes. It just kind of happens that way. I don't know if it's just in our DNA. It just happens, and we try to control it as much as we can, and we try to be helpful towards you guys as much as we can. We do our best. So, maybe I almost fell. To be supportive towards you and be the best soon-to-be dads that we can. Guys out there, when it comes to your wife's pregnancy, make sure you like take care of her. Try to get on an emotional level with her so that she knows you are there for her and that she knows that she's not doing this alone. No. You know, and being a dad, there's a lot of things that we're expected to do now that you're pregnant that maybe you had to, maybe you didn't have to do prior to your significant other being pregnant. And that could be taking extra hours at work or trying to get overtime or working 2 jobs because at that like 3rd trimester at the end of it, your wife is going to have to take maternity leave and you're going to be the sole provider for that period of time until your wife gets off maternity leave. And it could be stressful and hard. So ladies, please understand also the weight on our shoulders also. I'm not saying we have as much weight on our shoulders as you, but I'm just saying take it easy on us. We're doing our best. The actual birth can be stressful on the mother and the father. The mother is going through labor. She could have been. All right, he's down for his nap. Now back to where we were. Giving birth could be stressful on both parties, being your wife, mother. It could have been laboring for X amount of hours, and who knows, anything she could be going through her head right now. So, men, take care of your lady. Be there for her when she is sitting on that bed, wincing in pain. I know they always say, imagine pushing like a watermelon through like an apple or something like that. But it depends. You know, some women have a higher pain tolerance. My wife ended up giving birth naturally, not so much by her choice. She ended up, her water broke in the shower. And then the nurses went to go check to see if her water had actually broken. And if she wasn't too far along, she could have gotten the epidural. But by the time the nurses figured everything out, it turns out she was already 10 centimeters dilated. Her water did break. And it was time for the baby to come. So I was like behind the curtain because our family was there. And I was like, okay, well, the nurses are checking her right now to make sure that she could still, to see if her water broke, how far along she is, and if she can get the epidural still. And the second I heard 10 centimeters dilated, I was like, well, nope, never mind. The birth could be stressful just for the fact that your family could be there, all up in your faces, all just everywhere. And it could really suck. But it's also a lifesaver because you guys aren't going through it alone, and it's nice to know that there is that little bit of stress relief for you guys. What it's like after the birth is pretty simple for the first couple weeks. That baby is literally doing nothing but really just sit there. You know, you got to feed it, you know, and if you can't breastfeed, don't let that get to you because if you can't, you can't. There's no reason to freak out about it or anything like that. If you can't, you can't. Don't let anyone ever try to bully you saying, oh no, you should have breastfed. There are certain things that'll let you or not let you be able to breastfeed, and they do make things to try and help that. But if they don't work, they don't work. You know, you're okay. You're perfectly fine. Just bottle feed and go with it. You know, who cares? It's baby's still getting fed. That's all that matters. And husbands, you know, or even dads, I know you guys probably know about have felt the same way about this, but you know, it's weird, but kind of awesome seeing your significant other give life. It's a feeling unlike any other. There's no other feeling like it. You know, skydiving, nothing can compare to the sheer fact that you just brought a human into this world. You know, it could be different for other people, you know, but I know for a fact it was one of the greatest days of my life, other than getting married to my wife. For up until like 5, 6, 7 months, that baby still completely dependent on you the first couple years. But as they get older, you know, they're less dependent. And I'm sure you know, you grew up eventually, maybe. And I know there's a lot of stress on dad's shoulders because we're out working, or I'm not saying women don't work or anything like that when they have the babies. There are moms out there who work just as much as the father while having the baby. But there are things we have to do to overcompensate for you, especially after the birth, to try and help you out more, as well as the baby, the house, the animals, if you have any. Taking care of a baby is kind of like a dog, but not really. It is a human being, so there are like major differences. But like feeding it, dogs can pretty much just find their self the food. You literally have to bring the food to your dog or to the baby, and the baby doesn't fully understand love yet, like the animal. I'm sure that dog loves you unconditionally, unless you like beat it. That baby will eventually smile. You may be sitting there being like, what have we done? This baby is just crying all the time. I don't know what to do. Just relax. It gets easier. I mean, the crying doesn't really stop. You get used to it, and the baby eventually starts sleeping through the night, which is a blessing or a curse. I haven't figured that out yet. But it makes it so much easier on you guys because you're not sitting there constantly waking up every hour and a half, 2 hours because the baby is crying. So don't worry, it gets easier, and seeing that baby smile makes it all worth it. At least it did for me. Yeah, I'm not going to say I had the easiest time. I don't think anyone has an easy time becoming a parent, especially the first time. But I guess it all depends on the person. But anyway, no, it gets easier as time goes. Baby ends up learning to sit up, eating solid foods, not solid foods, but like the baby food. And I actually I tasted those, and some of them are super disgusting, especially the meats. So if you want to know what you're feeding your baby, go ahead and give those a taste. That was the baby food challenge. But anyway, the future thoughts that you might have as a parent, or even just as a soon-to-be dad, which this is more like a soon-to-be parent truth about being a dad. So I may do later videos on after the first 7 months or something like that. Future thoughts you might have is like, how's my kid gonna turn out? What school will he go to? Will he be the basketball star? I hope he gets A's. I hope he's not bullied. What's he gonna be like when he gets a little older? Is he gonna be exactly like me when I was a kid? Stuff like that. And like there are those parents who were like already setting up like college funds and stuff like that, and that's all great. But honestly, I feel like I don't want to force my kid to go to college. If he chooses to go to college, that's great and all, but that's like 18 years down the road still. All I'm worried about right now is, when is he going to be in daycare? All those thoughts might be running through your head, and just don't worry about them. Push those aside. You can't plan for the future. Just take things in stride, and eventually, what happens. You can try to be the best parents you can be, but you can't plan for the future. Parenting 101 right here is just learn how to improvise and adapt, because again, you can't plan for the future, so you just have to improvise and adapt to the situation that might be occurring at this moment, because there are unknown variables that could happen at any moment. Your kid could come down with a sickness or whatever, and you couldn't have planned for that. Oh, that'd be sad. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic, but you can't plan for things like that. So just take things in stride and don't try to stress out too much about it. There are other parents out there with you. I'm pretty new to parenting myself, but I'm a pretty fast learner. I'm super optimistic. But if you want to see more videos, go ahead and like. If you want to share some experiences, comment either on here or Twitter. Comments down below. Like button should be like right there. And my Twitter is @ribnasty. So if you want to email me or something like that, you can do that through there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you want more, shoot me and subscribe. Just like that. I'm Nasty McRib, and I'll see you guys later.